Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm Beth Jones.
And I'm Peter Dubois. First tonight, a Mount Chase man faces charges following a police search.
38-year-old Trevor DeRozier was arrested Tuesday. According to the Penobscot County Sheriff's Office, deputies responded to a report of an assault in Mount Chase back on December 21st. They say there's been an ongoing investigation for several weeks then. And on Tuesday, the Sheriff's Office special response team executed a search warrant in Mount Chase and found 2 guns. DeRozier was arrested and faces a variety of charges, including assault, unlawful sexual contact, and possession of a firearm by a prohibited person.
Herman High School is dealing with high levels of PFAS in their drinking water. Not only are they taking it in stride, they're also using it as a learning opportunity. Matthew Jurancic has more.
Due to elevated PFAS levels in the water supply, staff and students at Herman High School are switching to bottled water for the rest of the school year.
We got our first round of results in December. We, at that time, had a level that was elevated but not over the limit at Herman High School.
At the time, Herman's superintendent of schools, Micah Grant, had the choice to retest the water or wait another year. He decided to retest and found out the levels were above the state limit.
When this news came out, was the math and science teachers at the high school started talking about what does parts per trillion mean and what can the effects of PFAS do to the body. And so they actually started to explore the numbers and the science behind this announcement.
Math teacher Brandon Crocker says he wants to help students gain a better perspective on the issue.
It's easy to get lost in, well, how does this relate to the real world? And so kind of putting it back in that context of, okay, there's this amount in the water, having that in the context is a very good idea.
Crocker used a swimming pool example to explain to students that 1 part per trillion of PFAS is equivalent to 1 drop of water in 20 Olympic-sized pools.
They showed us a presentation in the classrooms, so I realized that it wasn't bad, and I knew that our school is going to do whatever is best for us.
Now that students have a better understanding, they're thankful Grant retested the water.
He's saving us so much because even though it's a small percentage that we're over, he's helping us so much because we wouldn't have even known that this was in our water.
The district is pursuing a plan for mitigation equipment that will cost at least $50,000. In Herman, Matthew Jurancic reporting for ABC7 and Fox 22 News.
Well, Maine's community colleges have ended their COVID-19 vaccination requirement for on-campus students effective immediately. The Maine Community College System Board came to a unanimous decision today to rescind the vaccination requirement and instead adopt language, quote, to strongly encourage all learners to receive the COVID-19 vaccination and boosters, end quote. In addition, Board President David Dagler announced that schools intend to strengthen and expand wellness education aimed at mitigating the spread of respiratory illnesses. Students at off-site locations are still required to adhere to the site's guidelines and are the only exception to the rule.
The Internal Revenue Service is recommending taxpayers hold off on filing their tax returns if they received a special tax fund or payment from the state last year. The IRS is clarifying whether the payments from the state should be taxed federally or not. According to a statement from the IRS, the rules surrounding these payments are complex. They will provide additional clarity for many states and taxpayers as early as next week. Despite the recent announcement, Thomas Tax and Financial Services owner Bob Thomas says it's business as usual.
How I'm treated as non-taxable as far as federal is concerned. I'm not putting it on anybody's. I'm saying it's a reimbursement of Maine taxes.
The IRS is also recommending people who've already filed their taxes to not file for an amendment. They will provide guidance for the matter in the coming week.
Legislation has been introduced that would add e-bikes to the electric vehicle rebate program. Efficiency Maine currently offers instant and mail-in rebates for qualifying battery-powered vehicles and plug-in hybrid electric vehicles. Senator Maddie Daughtry of Brunswick introduced the bill and said, quote, "We want to encourage more people to commute by e-bike instead of a gas-powered vehicle. Gas-powered vehicles remain the highest source of greenhouse gas emissions in Maine," end quote. The measure now faces further action in committee.
On Tuesday night, President Biden's State of the Union address drew reactions from both sides of the political aisle. Our David Ledford breaks it all down.
There were several memorable moments during the State of the Union address, including heckles from members of the Republican Party and a focus on the domestic economy. During the address, Biden discussed the supply chain and Buy American policies. Kristen Vicasi, an associate professor at the University of Maine, Department of Political Science and School of Policy and International Affairs, explained what this could mean.
Many of the policies that were proposed in the State of the Union can be easily interpreted as trade protection in other names. In particular, the Buy American policies that President Biden proposed will be very much seen as off-putting from the United States' friends and allies.
Mark Brewer, professor and interim chair at the University of Maine's Department of Political Science, says that despite vocal disapproval at times, there were clear signs of unity as well.
There were some areas where we could see bipartisan support, and certainly the president and Speaker McCarthy seemed to have moments, at least, where they had kind of genuine engagement with each other, which that's a positive, I would say.
Concerns around the Chinese spy balloon that was recently shot down were another topic at the address. Vicasi explained that while some feel Biden acted too late, there is more to be uncovered with the issue.
In the speech, Biden said, if China threatens our sovereignty, we will act to protect our country, and we did. And that was referencing the spy balloon incident. We don't have enough technical details of what kinds of information was being gathered and the extent to which it was sensitive information in order to make the judgment of whether it was done too early or too late.
David Ledford, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
And as we turn our attention to the outdoors, it was really a mild, a pretty warm day, all things considered, for this time of the year here in Maine.
Yeah, it looks like Mother Nature's going to take it a little bit easy on us, at least in the coming hours. So let's get a first check of our forecast and learn a little more.
Thank you so much. Our first weather today is brought to you by Scott's Recreation, locations in Turner, Manchester, Herman, and Orono, Maine. All right, it is winter. It is middle of February. We do have around 6 inches of snow here in town, but up north, a lot more. There are some spots with over 2 feet of snow. But big changes are on the way, folks. Lots of snow will be melting away with all these warm temperatures making its way up. Look at Washington, D.C., 54. They were in the 60s earlier today. Wow, incredible stuff. Some really warm temperatures will be in the area. We actually had 40s out there today, 44 here in town. Bar Harbor coming in at 43 degrees. Even Waterville was at 42 earlier today. Some upper 30s up north. Tonight, though, everything's going to start to refreeze as temperatures continue to cool off, and they'll be hovering in those mid to upper teens.
Alrighty, and still to come on Fox 22 News at 10, we'll tell you about a Canadian company that's looking to recruit Mainers to mine in Penobscot County.
And a group of local towns finds a novel solution to the EMT staffing shortage. We'll have those stories and much more local news when we come right back.
Create the perfect spaces in your home for 2023 at the Furniture Gallery. Entertain in style this year with a new dining set. Have room for everyone on movie nights with a big sectional with extra seating. Feel more rested with a new mattress from Serta, Restonic, or Nectar from the Furniture Gallery. Kick back and save an extra 10% on our entire recliner selection and save up to 70% off clearance items. Support our Maine family-owned business and save money. The Furniture Gallery in Augusta, Bangor, Gorham, Newport, and North Windham.
Your favorite restaurants were half off. It's half off dining from Fox 22 and ABC 7. Go to foxbangor.com, click on half off dining, and start saving now.
Come visit Candor Cafe inside the Bangor Mall, where your fresh and healthy meals are made for you by a certified nutritionist. We also offer plant-based and gluten-free options. Stop by and see us today. Candor Cafe inside the Bangor Mall.
Great restaurants from all over Eastern Maine at half off dining from Fox 22 and ABC 7.
It's your journey. Own every mile in the all-electric Hyundai Ioniq 5, 2023 Motor Trend SUV of the year. Now lease a 2023 Hyundai Ioniq 5 for $569 a month. See your Bangor Hyundai dealer.
Let's go. It's not how you begin. You take advantage of the moment. But how you finish. Turn it up a notch. Super Bowl 57, Sunday on Fox.
Coming up on Good Morning Maine, we'll hear responses from Maine legislators regarding the mixed bag of reactions during the State of the Union on Tuesday. Plus, we'll learn about the recently discovered forever chemicals contamination problem in the Herman School Department. These stories, as well as your full radar weather forecast, coming up on Good Morning Maine.
Welcome back. A Canadian company is hoping to recruit Mainers to drill for precious metals near Pickett Mountain in Penobscot County, close to the Katahdin Woods and Waters National Monument. Wolf Den Resources, based in Ontario, plans to offer workers as much as $100,000 a year as a starting salary, working 7 days on and 7 days off if their project gets off the ground. The company estimates the mining effort would create 272 jobs. However, some area residents have shared concerns about the mining process. Jeremy Willett, Vice President of Project Development, says that Wolf Den will follow Maine's strict regulations.
It's not often you can find a literal brand new industry come into the state that is able to operate while keeping environmental management at its top tier of priority.
According to Willett, the project still has a ways to go and is currently seeking rezoning approval from Maine's Land Use Planning Commission. He also says there will be opportunities for Mainers to voice their concerns before the project begins.
$1 million is going to a conservation project in Trenton thanks to a grant awarded through the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. It'll fund the conservation of 216 acres of intertidal and freshwater wetlands and adjacent uplands in Trenton. A statement says coastal wetlands are vitally important in protecting communities from floods, filtering water, supporting recreation, and providing habitat for fish and wildlife. Despite their importance, there has been a steady loss of coastal wetlands. The acquisition will be managed by the Maine Department of Inland Fisheries and Wildlife in partnership with the Frenchman Bay Conservancy.
Well, a group of town officials believe they have found a solution to the state's ongoing EMT staffing crisis. Devin Dagnall met with one of them to learn more.
This may be a model for other communities, because it's not just us, it's the whole county plus the whole state, actually, from what we've been hearing.
Town officials from Cherryfield, Millbridge, and Steuben believe they have found a solution to what they call the EMT crisis facing their communities. They want to pool their resources and fund a single ambulance corps called the Bold Coast Ambulance Services. According to the Millbridge town manager, Lewis Pinkham, if approved, Bold Coast Ambulance will service all three towns and beyond with 2 ambulances at separate locations. Pinkham says the plan would not only improve response time, but save all 3 towns money in the long run.
We'll have a lot more control because it will be the towns that's overseeing it. And we'll also get all of the revenue back that is generated from all of the calls.
According to Pinkham, the initial estimated cost will be just over $500,000, a majority of which will be used to purchase a new ambulance that will be housed and maintained in Millbridge. The 3 towns will also use the ambulance currently in Cherryfield, where it will remain. Pinkham says he thinks the towns already have most of, if not all of the funding needed, and there is no expected increase in property taxes.
We are going to try hardest to make certain that we don't increase property taxes. But the thing is, they're going to be getting way more service than they have in the past and a lot quicker response time, so obviously it's going to cost a little bit more.
As far as Millbridge's current ambulance service, Petite Manan, Pinkham says Millbridge will continue to fund them as they have been, and that all EMTs have been offered positions within Bold Coast Ambulance Service. Officials from Millbridge, Cherryfield, and Steuben will be convening on February 21st at 6 p.m. in the Millbridge Elementary School gym and are inviting residents from all 3 towns to voice their opinions there.
We want to show complete transparency. We want to assure the people that we're doing everything we can to provide them with the best service we can.
In Millbridge, Devin Dagnall, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Students and parents enjoyed some time outdoors during a family snowshoe walk at Patricia A. Duran School this afternoon. The elementary school in Herman brought back its popular family snowshoe event from last year. Principal Melissa Davis says they used grant funding to purchase many pairs of snowshoes to make sure there were enough for everyone. She says the new educational element to the walk this year.
One of my secretaries had the idea that it might be fun to do a story walk. And so we thought, we're always pushing literacy, and this would be a fun way to get kids outside and playing, but also reading a story too, which the best of both worlds.
Principal Davis says the walk is a great opportunity to get the school community together for some outdoor fun.
Well, a Brewer furniture maker is quite proud of the hundreds and even possibly thousands of pieces she's handcrafted and sold. Megan Smith makes dollhouse furniture, items that can fit in the palm of your hand. And as Jody Hersey tells us, this is one crafter who's proving smaller is better.
I can remember being probably 5, 6 years old, and one of the first real miniature things that I made was a bathroom for Barbie out of a tissue box.
Megan Smith has come a long, long way since then. Smith, who considers herself a miniaturist, has created hundreds of dollhouse-sized bookshelves, tables, and other pieces of furniture with her own two hands.
Some people are very organized and they will draw something out and figure out what they're doing. I sit down with a bunch of different bits and pieces and just start playing.
Smith says there's a misconception around miniatures.
There's a perception that miniatures are just for kids or for young people, and most of the clients that I work with are all adult collectors. I do a lot of what's called kit bashing, and that's when you get like a kit that already has some components that are cut out of the wood, and then I'll just use select pieces of that kit and then I'll add other things to it.
Besides using wood and kit pieces to create her minis, Smith also adds working hardware to many of her items.
I try to make sure that everything works, and if it has like this has hinges on it, and so I want that to be something that you can actually fold and interact with, because I think that's part of the fun of minis, is having something in a small scale that's still functioning the way that it's intended to.
Smith says creating these handheld miniatures is not only a creative outlet, but a therapeutic hobby as well.
It's amazing how having a hobby and like a positive outlet is so good for us. It's a really great thing, and I wish more people got into it.
In Brewer, I'm Jody Hersey for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Well, Smith's work can be seen at the Maine Three Railers Train and Dollhouse Show at the Augusta Armory on February 18th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. And that is just a level of detail that is mind-boggling to me. It is unbelievable.
It's so impressive. I mean, we see it up close with the camera, but getting that meticulous.
There's teeny tiny little hinges to make the cabinet doors open. Crazy.
And you got to get them on there evenly too. So just some really impressive work, and it's cool. I mean, it's something that you might not think about that much, but it sounds like there's a really greater interest in miniature.
And a real value to it, too.
Yeah,
there's a real value to collecting that.
Yeah.
Well, coming up on the 10 p.m. news on Fox 22, we'll have the latest on the Russian invasion of Ukraine.
And we'll also bring you an update on the catastrophic earthquakes in Turkey and Syria. We'll have those stories and much more after this.
If you're eligible for Medicare and Medicaid, a Medicare Advantage plan from Anthem Maine Health can come with all the benefits you want and zero compromises. Just go to anthemainehealth.com/answers or call 855-753-3928 for a one-on-one Medicare plan review. Ask about our $0 monthly premium plans that include dental, vision, and hearing coverage, along with transportation, a free gym membership, and $0 copay for prescriptions, all for zero extra cost. Plus, you could be eligible for extra benefits to help you save even more. We have plans with up to $2,500 a year to help you pay for over-the-counter health items, groceries, and living expenses like cell phone, electric, or water bills, all on a single prepaid MasterCard you can use at thousands of locations nationwide. Call Anthem Maine Health at 855-753-3928 or visit anthemmainehealth.com/answers and get a Medicare Advantage plan with zero compromises for you and your wallet.
Maine's #1 Kia dealer, Van Sickle Kia, has you covered. Front-wheel drive, all-wheel drive, hybrid, or fully electric. Brand new 2023 Kia Sportage, Sorento, Soul, Forte, and more. Check out the all-new 2023 Kia Niro Hybrid with 54 mpg highway, or the affordable Sporty Forte with 41 mpg highway. Plus, get Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty, the best in the business.
The best cars, the best prices, and the best warranty. I'm Peter Van Sickle. I guarantee it.
Hi, I'm Renee from R&B's Home Source at Clowes Corner in Madison. For over 15 years, we continue to serve the people of Somerset County and beyond with quality products at the lowest possible prices. Find Serta mattresses at our Serta Sleep Center and Catnapper and Best Furniture for your living room. We carry most major appliance brands, and we proudly service what we sell. Stop in and see us 4 miles north of Skowhegan on Route 201 in Madison.
Shop with us here at R&B's Home Source.
Start with a bang. Invite a bunch of friends, then fill the infield like a rock concert. Mix in some star power and turn them loose. A 500-mile all-out fight for NASCAR's biggest prize. That's the Great American Race. The Daytona 500, February 19th, only on Fox.
There's one number you need to know. It's called Joe.
Ukraine's president is asking the West for more advanced weapons ahead of a new Russian offensive. This comes as Moscow's forces fire more missiles at the eastern part of the country. Fox's Trey Yingst has more.
This will be a change that the world has long needed.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky promised victory over Russia during a visit to the UK on Wednesday. In a speech before Parliament, Zelensky renewed calls for Western allies to supply his military with fighter jets. He says the combat aircraft is key to defending against missile and drone attacks.
I appeal to you and the world with simple and yet most important words. Combat aircrafts for Ukraine. Wings for freedom.
On Wednesday, the UK announced plans to provide fighter pilot training to Ukrainian troops. So far, Western leaders have been reluctant to send advanced fighter jets because they require considerable training and could escalate tensions between Russia and NATO, though Britain's government says it's now actively looking at whether it can supply the aircraft.
We will continue to support Ukraine to ensure decisive military victory on the battlefield this year.
Zelensky's visit comes as Moscow's forces ramp up their attacks ahead of the one-year mark of this war. Overnight, troops fired missiles at the city of Kharkiv, seen as a potential target of an upcoming Russian offensive.
The best way to hasten prospects for real diplomacy is to keep tilting the battlefield in Ukraine's favor. This will help ensure that Ukraine has the strongest possible hand to play at a negotiating table when one emerges.
Ukrainian officials want to increase their weapons supply by spring when the fighting is expected to ramp up. In Kyiv, Trey Yingst, Fox News.
Meanwhile, the death toll continues to climb following Monday's earthquakes in Turkey and Syria. The fight to try to reach survivors under the rubble grows more urgent with each passing hour. Fox's Greg Palcott is in southern Turkey with the latest.
Amid the horror of the aftermath of the Turkish earthquakes, glimmers of hope. A father, his daughter, and his son all rescued from the rubble in northern Syria. A newborn baby carried from a site carefully in southern Turkey. As the body count builds, the death toll well over 12,000 now, morgues overfilled. Along with a last struggle as the window for survival closes. Desperate hours in the Turkish city of Gaziantep, rescue workers using everything they have, cranes, drills, picks, shovels, their bare hands to remove the rubble from the site of this collapsed apartment building hit by those earthquakes on Monday morning. Their hope is, the possibility is, there still could be somebody alive underneath all that mess. Time is running out. There had been sounds detected from beneath the pile. It's thought some 16 people are there, including a 17-year-old boy. His extended family waits. His mother pleads.
Everyone should pray for us, and we need help.
For nearly 500,000 people now left homeless in the region, there are more problems.
We don't want blankets or clothing, but we have nowhere to shelter, nowhere to sleep.
Turkish President Erdogan facing criticism as he made his first visit to the disaster zone.
Our people must not worry. We won't allow any of our citizens to be left in the streets.
Although his promise to rebuild all destroyed housing within a year rang bitterly hollow to many as they deal with scenes of desolation. It is early in the morning here in Gaziantep now. There is still no news about those trapped in the rubble behind us, but there is more activity by heavy machinery, leading some here to fear this is becoming more of a recovery mission than a rescue mission. But there is still hope. In Gaziantep, Turkey, Greg Palcott, Fox News.
Meanwhile, the U.S. is learning China's balloon surveillance program spans worldwide, including additional spy balloons which have breached U.S. airspace in the past. Fox's Kevin Cork has the latest.
As urgency continues to grow over China on Capitol Hill, lawmakers in both the House and Senate are set to receive classified briefings Thursday on the Chinese spy balloon that traveled across the country last week. Many lawmakers looking for answers as to how the spy balloon was allowed to enter U.S. airspace. The Pentagon asserting that their response was not an intelligence failure.
We responded quickly and appropriately, and I think that they have a lot of explaining to do.
The balloon used by the Chinese is part of a widespread global surveillance program that the Pentagon and U.S. intelligence have been observing for several years. India, Taiwan, Japan, the Philippines, and Vietnam, among other countries being targeted by China. Meanwhile, the Pentagon confirming these balloons have infiltrated U.S. airspace before.
We are aware that there have been 4 previous balloons that have gone over U.S. territory.
In South Carolina, the U.S. Navy continues its work to recover debris from the balloon. The Pentagon saying the favorable weather this week is allowing divers and explosive ordnance technicians to conduct underwater salvage and recovery efforts.
We are getting more information almost by the hour as we continue to work to salvage the balloon.
Secretary Blinken going on to say that the U.S. has already begun briefing U.S. embassies around the world with the information they are learning from the debris. In Washington, I'm Kevin Cork, Fox News.
Southwest Airlines is set to testify at a Senate hearing Thursday. The airline is expected to apologize over the meltdown they experienced in December that left hundreds of thousands of passengers stranded around Christmas. More than 16,700 flights between December 21st to the 31st were canceled by Southwest as its crew scheduling software couldn't keep up with massive flight disruptions due to severe weather that had stretched across the country. The company taking a pre-tax hit of $800 million.
A spokesman for the South Carolina Law Enforcement Division says the bomb threat that interrupted Alec Murdaugh's double murder trial on Wednesday was called in on the court's General Sessions line. The threat coming in just before 12:30 local time, prompting a swift response from both police and fire officials. Everyone was given the green light to go back into the building after a thorough sweep. Fox's Jonathan Siri has details.
An abrupt stop in the trial of Alec Murdaugh Wednesday following a bomb threat.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have to evacuate the building at this time, so we'll be in recess until we discover what's going on.
Before the disruption, jurors listened to another round of testimony. Murdaugh is on trial for the double murder of his wife Maggie and 22-year-old son Paul. The two were gunned down at the family's hunting estate in South Carolina back in June of 2021. Annette Griswold, a former secretary of Alec Murdaugh, taking the stand to detail the moment she says she found out Murdaugh was stealing from his law firm.
He lied to me. Unfortunately, he did take these funds, because when I flipped the check over, I also saw that he had deposited by mobile deposit.
In a blow to the defense, the judge allowing a text message exchange between Murdaugh and 2 former employees, where he allegedly admits to stealing from the firm and saying he had a drug problem.
The worst part is knowing I did the most damage to those I love the most.
Griswold also identified Alec Murdaugh's voice in a cell phone video prosecutors say was recorded by Paul Murdaugh minutes before he and his mother were killed.
Hey, he's got a burn in his mouth.
I hear 3 voices.
And tell me who you hear.
I hear Paul Murdaugh Maggie Murdaugh and Elliot Murdaugh.
And how sure are you?
I'm 100% sure.
If Murdaugh is found guilty, he could spend the rest of his life behind bars. In Atlanta, John Sari, Fox News.
And still to come on Fox 22 News at 10, we'll have a report on the security measures being taken in the Phoenix area for the Super Bowl.
And we'll have much more in terms of sports and our full 5-day. Stay with us.
It's Battle of the Ages.
These old geezers better work.
This old guy's here to play.
This is a joke. Hell's Kitchen, Battle of the Ages, Thursday on Fox.
Winter was welcome about 2 months ago. Now, some think it's overstayed its welcome. It's not going anywhere soon. So, we will have to get away to someplace sunny, to someplace warm, someplace away from winter. Let's begin at Bangor International Airport, the official airport of making tomorrow's winter break memories. Today, flybangor.com.
It is said that the eyes are the windows into the soul, which begs the question, can a window have a soul? At Renewal by Andersen, we think so. When it's a window forged from fabrics and over 100 years of refined craftsmanship, the essence of who we are transforms into a superior, stunningly beautiful window. So yes, a window can have a soul. For a limited time, take advantage of this great offer. Find out why we are the better way to a better window. Renewal by Andersen.
Silver Fox Automotive is a family-owned and operated company with more than 30 years of experience. We are originally from the county and offer competitive prices and promise you will be completely satisfied with our work. We offer a stress-free experience to both our new and returning customers. We only use parts from reputable brands to ensure your vehicle is safe to drive. Here at Silver Fox, there will always be a friendly face to greet you. Come see us at 2004 Audlin Road in Herman.
Spend an evening with James Taylor and his all-star band. The American icon is back on tour. June 27th at Main Savings Amphitheater. The multiple Grammy Award-winning James Taylor and a night full of his biggest hits.
Tickets on sale Friday at 10 a.m. at waterfrontconcerts.com or Ticketmaster.com.
Spend the night with a friend. James Taylor.
Quirk Ford invites you to check out the savings on 2022s. Save $24.31 or choose 0% financing on Ford Escape. Lease the Ford F-150 XLT Crew Cab for $499 per month. It's your truck or SUV. Find it at Quirk Ford, Augusta and Belfast.
There is a heightened sense of security in the Phoenix area as tens of thousands of football fans start gathering for Super Bowl 57. Fox's Madeline Rivera is in Glendale, Arizona with that story.
The Phoenix area ramps up security as fans around the world arrive for the big game, Super Bowl 57.
About 1 million people expected to visit the Phoenix area this week, and the NFL's head of security says the city is ready to make sure everyone has fun and stays safe.
There are no known specific or credible threats to the game or any of our events.
More than 40 agencies have worked together over the last 18 months on security, a plan that includes over 2,000 Phoenix police officers on the ground, as well as National Guardsmen and Customs and Border Protection agents. CBP also bringing a fleet of helicopters to protect and stop any potential threats in the skies above State Farm Stadium.
3 Blackhawks, 2 A-Stars, 1 MEA, which is a multi-enforcement aircraft, and then 1 206, and we're looking at about 50 agents that'll be down here.
F-16 fighter jets will also be patrolling the tightly restricted airspace, which includes a no-drone zone for a 2-mile radius around the stadium ahead of the game.
Super Bowl is a no-drone zone. In fact, from the 9th through the 12th, all the related events around Super Bowl are no-drone zones.
During the game, the zone will expand to 30 miles, and a temporary flight restriction on all aircrafts will also be put in place. While officials wouldn't confirm if facial recognition technology would be used on the ground, surveillance cameras will be used to monitor areas.
We do have a large camera deployment. Obviously, it's part of what security is about, right? Knowing our situational awareness.
This year's security preps included plans for the Waste Management Open, which is also happening this week. In Glendale, Arizona, Martha Rivera, Fox News.
Well, the Super Bowl is bringing star-studded performances from pregame to halftime, and we're putting the spotlight on those artists who are bringing big entertainment to the big game. Here's Fox's Ashley Dvorkin.
An award-winning all-star, all-genre lineup is this year's Super Bowl entertainment. Country singer-songwriter Chris Stapleton will perform the national anthem. The Grammy and CMA winner is a highly anticipated live performer, famously sought-after collaborator, and stellar guitar player. Stapleton recently announced his All-American Roadshow tour kicking off April 26th, with stops along the way at Stagecoach Music Festival and Willie Nelson's 90th birthday. Legendary R&B singer, songwriter, and producer Kenny Babyface Edmonds goes from the Grammys party to game day to sing America the Beautiful. The 12-time Grammy winner is the only artist in the history of that award show to be honored as Producer of the Year 4 times. Babyface's latest album is Girls' Night Out, featuring collaborations including Ella Mai. Adding to the A-plus A-list, star of stage and screen Cheryl Lee Ralph will sing Lift Every Voice and Sing. The actor and singer's accolades include, most recently, earning an Emmy and Critics' Choice Award for her role in Abbott Elementary. On behalf of the National Association of the Deaf, Oscar winner Troy Kotzer will perform the national anthem in American Sign Language. Kotzer became the second deaf person ever to win an Oscar for his role in Coda. It all leads up to halftime, which is superstar Rihanna's stage this year, adding to the big excitement for the big game, February 12th on Fox. In Hollywood, Ashley Dvorkin, Fox News.
Just so many great acts coming up.
Yeah.
Even if you're not a football fan, you're going to be entertained throughout the game.
Yeah, absolutely. Really neat to see the familiar face from the movie Coda doing the sign language for the national anthem. Great to see that as well. A lot of acclaim for that particular role and a lot of awareness raised for the deaf community there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Really important and great that they're using him, who's also, I mean, what an impressive resume he has as well. So,
absolutely.
yeah.
Alrighty, well, Conrad's coming back with our full 5-day. Stay with us.
Get ready, warmer temperatures are on the way, but how warm is it going to get? I'll have all the answers plus more coming up.
Where will your new Chevy take you this year? Anywhere. Find new experiences, find new roads. Get 2.99% financing for 5 years on all 2022 Silverado 1500 pickups, or get $1,250 cash allowance on this Silverado with a 2.7-liter engine. Plus, current Chevy owners get an additional $2,500 cash allowance.
I'm 82 years old and I have collapsed arches, which means the first thing that hits the ground is the bone in my arch. I came to Comfort Shoes 4 years ago because I couldn't walk without pain. And she spent so much time on my feet getting the right shoe, and we finally found the right pair. Once you made these orthotics for me, I have no pain. These are so comfortable. I have no discomfort. I feel like I could go running, and I thank you and Comfort Shoes for that.
When Booth Electric and United Energy want to know the local forecast, they log on to foxbangor.com. Stay in your comfort zone with Booth Electric and United Energy, Maine's trusted heat pump and electrical company.
Toyota trains certified technicians. Is that important?
Well, you wouldn't hire just anyone to help you move, would you?
No.
Of course not.
Not again.
Get your Toyota ready for the year's coldest and harshest weather. See your New England Toyota dealer for great service offers to help keep your Toyota dependable and fuel efficient all winter long. Toyota Service Centers. Keep your Toyota a Toyota.
Great things are always cooking at the Ground. New menu, new specials, with an amazing variety of choices for every taste. Good times, great service, and amazing food. Only at your locally owned Ground, Odland Road, Bangor.
With the bloodline in turmoil, can the Usos defend the tag titles against Braun Strowman and Ricochet? It's an all-new Friday Night SmackDown, live at 8 Eastern on Fox.
All right, and our main weather today is brought to you by Diversified Ink Tattoo Studio in Penobscot Plaza in Bangor, providing custom ink by licensed artists for over 20 years. All right, what a nice day out there today. We saw lots of sunshine, temperatures back in the 40s. Wow, really feels like spring already. Right now, though, we do have some increasing clouds, a couple of flurries up north. For us, we are in the clear for now, though. But take a look at this storm right here, closer to St. Louis. Going into the Chicago area, all of this is going to continue to make its way up in the next 24 to 36 hours. It's going to be a mess coming in. It's going to come in some flurries, some snowflakes in the late afternoon hours on Thursday. And then overnight, temperatures will actually start to rise. All of that snow will transition to rain. So by the morning hours, bam, it's just going to be rain and wet everywhere. So make sure you bring your umbrellas, folks, especially for that morning commute on Friday. So we're looking at around 1 to 3 inches of snowfall here in town. But then by the morning hours, as temperatures rise above freezing, rain starts to fall, all of that will be washed away. So if you wake up and there's no snow on the ground, that's because it melted away. But we're looking at around 1, 2, maybe 3 inches in some spots. And of course, a bit north where temperatures are going to be colder, a little bit more snow. Liquid equivalent, though, we're looking at 1/2 inch to 1 inch of rain. So not the biggest rain event, but still going to bring some rain and snow. It's going to be a whole mess out there, folks. But look at these temperatures. Wow. Look at Friday. Our average should be around 29 degrees, 50 degrees. It really is going to feel like spring day out there on Friday. But then on Saturday, a cold front comes in. We really cool off, temperatures in the 30s. Sunday, Monday into Tuesday, we're going to be in those mid to even upper 30s. So again, those well above average temperatures will be sticking around with us for quite some time. It is a bit breezy out there right now, not looking too bad at the moment. We do have a wind at around 7 miles per hour, but winds will start to increase, especially into the morning hours on Friday. But look at this. We do actually have a winter weather advisory in effect till the morning hours on Friday up north by Greenville, Millinocket, and that's because there's going to be a little bit more snow compared to what we're going to get here in town, as temperatures will be a little bit colder there. So they're looking at several inches up north, maybe even up to 5 inches in some spots. Mostly clear tonight, though. Temperatures in the mid-teens, so it will get chilly out there. Refreezing will be an issue, so be careful out there tomorrow, folks. It is going to be a bit slippery on the floors, especially with all that snow and water starting to really freeze up out there. Tomorrow, though, during the day, wow, mostly cloudy skies. Temperatures back up above freezing. We will see some drizzle, though, and a couple of flurries late. Not really a big issue until the afternoon, like really late evening hours into the overnight hours. That snow transitioning into some rain. That wind will start to pick up out of the west at around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Our extended forecast outlook does show those warmer temperatures sticking around with us with lots of sunshine Saturday, Sunday, and into beginning of next week.
All right, so definitely a break from this severe weather. That is a much welcome reprieve.
Absolutely, and even though we have a little bit of rain, sunshine dominating that 5-day forecast, so really great to see that there.
Indeed.
All right, well, sports is coming up next. Stay with us.
There was no salt or sand.
And because of that, I slipped and fell.
When snow or ice isn't removed, you need a powerful law firm to go after every dollar you may deserve.
I needed to protect my rights.
Cases like this require resources and experience.
Over 25,000 victories for injured Mainers and more than $500 million collected for Maine families.
I never thought I'd get that much.
The law offices of Joe Bornstein. Maine lawyers working for Maine people.
Roto-Rooter has served the greater Bangor area and beyond for 35 years, offering plumbing, hydrojetting, snaking, descaling, video inspection, and grease interceptor cleaning services. For all your residential and commercial clogs, call Roto-Rooter today, 990-1234.
And away go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
Here at Black Fly Coffee Company, quality will never be compromised. No matter what type of coffee you choose, whether it's hot, iced, or frozen, you can feel confident that our products are the highest caliber. We're here to assist you with your morning cup of joe, along with your mid-afternoon pick-me-up. And while here, grab a pastry for a snack. We always have fresh pastries available from a local business right here in the area. We look forward to meeting you soon.
Almost heaven, West Virginia. I've been on that dating app, but girls are actually 400 miles away.
I have dated a lot of guys in the city. It hasn't worked out for me.
She's too pretty to be in a place like this.
Why I'm struggling so much with this.
This is a lot harder than I thought it was going to be.
Take me home.
Tonight's Sports is brought to you by Herman Motor Company. Whether you're looking for a new vehicle or to have your current vehicle serviced or detailed, Herman Motor Company has it all.
Welcome back in, everyone. Thank you for staying with us. This Sunday, the Kelsey brothers will be the first pair of brothers to play against each other in the Super Bowl. And then up in Orono, two brothers will be sharing the Maine football sideline starting this fall. Brewer senior Jackson Gross signed his national letter of intent to play for Maine in front of family and coaches at a ceremony on Tuesday. He will join his older brother, David, who became a starting offensive lineman this year as a sophomore with the Black Bears. That's marking the first time the two shared the field since 2019 when they were Bucksport Golden Bucks. Jackson says playing for Maine is a long time coming and that it's a blessing to be able to do it with his older brother.
It's truly a blessing, you know. It's been my lifelong goal of being a Black Bear, and ever since I was 6 years old, I've been going to games, want to represent my home state. It was truly a blessing my freshman year to share the field with him, so to do it again, I just can't wait.
All right, as for what the brothers will bring to the Black Bears as a unit, David believes that their natural grit will help them succeed. As two longtime football players and wrestlers, that toughness is just in their genes.
I think Mainers are honestly, they're just built different when it comes to putting in hard work and not avoiding it. I think that's something that we're going to bring together on the field and just representing our last name. And I think we also bring a chance for these Maine kids that want to continue to play football but don't know how to look and see that it is possible.
All right, should have interviewed the baby there. Let's stay with the Black Bears right now, and we will head to the ice. Maine hockey is coming off of another weekend split. They fell to BU on Friday and then took an overtime victory over Merrimack on Sunday. And that win Sunday pushed their win total to a dozen, with 6 Hockey East victories, 5 of them against ranked teams, and they've already surpassed their conference win total from last season. Coach Ben Barr's first season in Maine. And if you ask them what's changed, it has a lot to do with the mentality that they bring to the ice each day.
The difference is that we have a standard work ethic now, and that keeps us competitive. And then when you're competitive, you get a little belief, and good things happen.
A lot of it's the culture. I mean, we've grown quite a bit as a team. I mean, I think last year, even earlier on this year, in falling down 2 with 10 minutes to go could have been a different result for us, but I think that shows how much we've grown so far this year.
All right, now with just 8 games left on the schedule, Maine is in an interesting spot. They are currently in 8th place in the standings. Boston College is right ahead of them, and there are a few teams within striking distance right below them too. But they're not too worried about any of that. They're just confident that if they focus on their game, quote, good things will happen.
We're again just trying to increase our standards, build our standard, our culture every day. And if we do that, good things will happen. Whether we finish 7th, 8th, 10th, 4th, we want to be playing our best hockey going into the playoffs because that's a one-and-done scenario.
All right, on Tuesday, the Maine Basketball Hall of Fame announced its 2023 class of inductees, and they are welcoming 17 individuals into the hall this summer. The induction ceremony will be Sunday, August 20th at the Cross Insurance Center. We can't fit all 17 names on the list, but Husson men's hoops coach Warren Caruso will be inducted into the hall in August. He has been with Husson since 1999 and has led the Eagles to 14 conference championships. Also on there is Jamie Russell, Central girls basketball coach, who has over 400 career wins in his career at PCHS, PVHS, and now Central. Coach Scott Graffam from Madomic Valley and Oxford Hills is in, as well as the 1975 Foxcroft Academy boys basketball team. They finished a perfect 22-0. And then Todd Hansen, the 4-year UMaine guard from Waterville, is also on there. And you can find the full list on the Maine Basketball Hall of Fame's website. That is on your screen. All right, let's stay on the basketball subject now. After the floor was correctly put back on at the Cross Insurance Center, Maine men's basketball hosted top-ranked Vermont, and that's where we begin our hoops coverage. Black Bears looking for their fourth win against a number one team this season. Third win against a number one team this season. First half, here's where we'll start. Robin Duncan is going to find Dylan Penn. Nice post move here. He's going to get the hook shot to fall. And then it's going to be Jaden Clayton for Maine. He's driving, finds Ada Turgott in the lane, spins, and he gets the 2 to fall. Kellen Tynes now for Maine. He's going to get it to Turgott. He converts again on the inside, but Vermont was too much for the Black Bears on Wednesday. Some great ball movement here is going to find Matt Veretto. He's going to finish it off. The Catamounts would go on to win to a 74-65 victory. All right, up to Orono we go. A huge matchup in B North as Old Town visits the Red Riots. First quarter, Old Town is on the break. Carson Ellis up to Brendan Mahaney, out to Braden Brown. He is money from the corner. Yotes up early. Still in the first, Pierce Walston here with the pump fake. Gets the defender to fly by, and he knocks this one down. Great move from the junior. Second quarter, Alex Fernandez is going to intercept this pass, bring it up the court. He'll pull up from mid-range, stops, pops, and drains it. And Old Town would just keep on running all night long. Here's Fernandez up to Gabe Gifford on the break. Some jelly right there on the lay-in. Gets the friendly roll. Coyotes win a big one, 54-41. Let's head to a Class B and C battle here over in Bucksport. Golden Bucks taking on the Eagles of George Stevens. First quarter, Solorio sizes up the triple here, and then he is going to splash that thing home from the top of the key. Then for the Bucks, it's Evan Donnell. He's going to get it at the top. Good footwork in the lane, and he's going to get that floater to fall. Here he is again for the Bucks. He's going to get it, take a couple dribbles, and a beautiful no-look pass to Jake Williams inside for the bucket. Eagles the other way now. Patrick Dagan, he's going to come up with this steal, and then he is going to take it all the way home and finish with the left for 2. This one was back and forth right at the buzzer of the first quarter. Here's Donnell with a nice step back, drains the 3 ball. Bucks win it in overtime, 51-48. All right, that's all the time we have for sports. We'll be right back after the break.
It is said that the eyes are the windows into the soul, which begs the question, can a window have a soul? At Renewal by Andersen, we think so. When it's a window forged from Fibrex and over 100 years of refined craftsmanship, the essence of who we are transforms into a superior, stunningly beautiful window. So yes, a window can have a soul. For a limited time, take advantage of this great offer. Find out why we are the better way to a better window. Renewal by Andersen.
We're lucky to live in Maine. We have a wealth of natural resources, hardworking people, and time for the things that matter. Mechanical Services is all about Maine, with energy efficiency that protects our environment and helps businesses grow. Preventive maintenance and energy solutions that save money. How Maine is that? Mechanical Services. We're everywhere you are in Maine.
Say goodbye to lag times and death spirals with our crazy fast fiber internet. At GoNet Speed, we've dropped our prices on fiber. That means hello to fast fiber internet starting at just $49.95 per month. Or go up to 1 gig, that's 1,000 megabits per second, for only $69.95 a month. The lowest prices we've ever offered. No contract, no hidden fees, no joke. Visit GoNetspeed.com to check availability in your area.
I never get the flu.
My kids don't need more shots.
I don't have time.
We're all healthy.
No matter how you build your excuses, the flu can blow your house down.
I can't believe I used up all my sick time.
I missed a week of school during finals.
Now my baby has it because of me.
The hospital?
Keep your foundation strong. Vaccinate.
The Husson University Eagles take on the Maine Maritime Academy Mariners in a basketball doubleheader this Saturday, starting at 1 on ABC 7.
A living legend will release their memoir this fall. An Oscar-winning film gets the Broadway treatment and more. We go back to Fox's Ashley Dvorkin for the latest from the Hollywood Nation.
Chitty chitty bang bang.
Hart gets into action, La La Land heads to the stage, and Babs tells all in the Hollywood Nation. Barbra Streisand is ready to share her life story. The legendary superstar's memoir, My Name is Barbra, will recount her early days growing up in Brooklyn to her breakout performance in Funny Girl on stage and screen, and the many other successes that followed. It will also reveal details about her friendships with other public figures, including Marlon Brando and Madeleine Albright, as well as her marriage to James Brolin. The book arrives November 7th. La La Land is coming to Broadway. Damien Chazelle's Oscar-winning musical film starring Emma Stone and Ryan Gosling is being adapted into a stage show.
I want you in the leading role.
And Kevin Hart is in pursuit of a life-changing role in today's First Looks. Prime Video released the official trailer to the upcoming comedy Die Hard, a film adaptation of his Quibi series. The comedian plays a fictionalized version of himself who sets out to pivot from being a comedy wingman to an action movie star. John Travolta, Natalie Emmanuel, and Josh Hartnett also star. It will be available to stream February 24th.
You're like a real-life Rambo.
In Hollywood, Ashley Dvorkin, Fox News.
Well, finally tonight, some good news for Eagles fans, if there are many up here in Maine, as there is at least one prediction that they will emerge victorious in the Super Bowl. Crockett, a California sea lion from the Wildlife World Zoo and Aquarium in Litchfield Park, Arizona, predicts that the Birds will take home their second Super Bowl win this Sunday against the Kansas City Chiefs. Cardinals kicker Matt Prater tagged along for Crockett's prediction. He tossed two water toys into the pool, one Chiefs colored and the other Eagles green. The rest was up to Crockett. The sea lion ultimately swimming back with its pick for the championship, the Philadelphia Eagles. You can tune in on Sunday right here on Fox to see if Crockett's prediction for Super Bowl 57 was correct. I think there are a lot of New England fans that may be actually rooting for the Eagles too.
Yeah.
In this Super Bowl, myself included, but
yeah.
I know there are some.
There are definitely some for sure. You know, I'm a Pennsylvania native, so I'm thrilled to see them back in the Super Bowl. That's great news. But we also just think sea lions are cute, so it was fun to be able to combine both of those.
Absolutely, and we will see if that prediction is true.
Yeah, here's hoping. All right, that's it for us, folks. Good night.
Good night, everyone.
For more local news coverage, switch over to our sister station.
Jimmy's got Lily Tomlin, Jane Fonda, Rita Moreno, and Sally Field. Jimmy Kimmel